28 of our innocent, hard-working citizens who unfortunately they were killed for their religion. Do you feel the topic is being politicized a little too much? National security?
So we have to work towards the future of Bharat. I am saying we can't, we must remember the past, but that should be an inspiration to sort out our future. Recently, the Pakistan Army chief made a very hateful speech.
If you were the leader of opposition, what are some steps that you would take from today, supposing you were made today, to ensure that there is a strong opposition? Welcome to Aaj Ka Bharat, Mr. Poonawala. Thank you for taking time out and coming here. It's very important for the youth of India and Gen Z to know more about democracy in India, political engagement in the era of social media, about the different narratives that are going on, and of course, one of the most heartbreaking things that's happened right now, which is the Pahalgam terror attack. But why I think it's so important for you to be here, it's because you do not lean towards the right or the left, but just one thing, which is a Bharat first perspective. And that's why we all connect to you so much.
Thank you so much, Sanana, for having me here. And many congratulations on Aaj Ka Bharat.
Thank you so much, sir.
And I believe firmly कि आज के भारत में ही नींव हम रख सकते हैं कल के भारत के लिए. We can keep the foundation of tomorrow's Bharat in today's Bharat. So today's Bharat, Aaj Ka Bharat, is extremely important for the foundation that we want to keep, so that our future tomorrow and our Bharat tomorrow is much more better, much more prosperous, much more peaceful.
Of course, very wise words. But so talking about the Pahalgam terror attack, it's very heartbreaking that we had 28 of our innocent, hard-working citizens who'd gone there to, spend time with their families, and unfortunately they were killed for their religion. Now we know that the government has retaliated diplomatically when we talk about the Indus Water treaties, the treaty in 1960 and different things. What do you feel about that? What are your thoughts on it? Is it apt, or do you feel that something else, something more strong should have been there?
This is a good measure to begin with. Let me start by offering my deepest condolences to the families and the loved ones of those who have been brutally massacred by these terrorists in Pahalgam. Before we go to what the government should do or has it done enough, let us understand what is the basis of this. You see, recently the Pakistan Army chief made a very hateful speech.
Yes.
And in this hateful speech, he compared human beings, Hindus and Muslims, as separate. And he justified the two-nation theory. Now, at the backing of this is what this attack has happened, where terrorists, obviously from Pakistan, have chosen Hindu males and shot them. Of course, there have been a couple of Muslims who've also been killed, resisting, and we salute everybody who's been killed. But the fact was, this was a religious-based terror attack, coming on the backing of what the Pakistan Army chief said. Now, in the context of that, I think it is important that we as a nation are resolved to fight this terror head on. There have been several terror incidences that have happened, big ones that have happened recently in India, and we've responded appropriately. When Pathankot happened, then there was Uri that we did, the surgical strikes. There was the terrorist attacks that happened post that Pakistan has repeatedly carried out. So, in my opinion, today what's happened at Pahalgam is unacceptable. And beat Pulwama in 14 February that they chose, 2019, or now at Pahalgam. These acts of terror by Pakistan are done to try and make Kashmir an international issue. That's the first part of it. So that is the first thing. The second thing to it, whether it was Pulwama or now Pahalgam, the second thing to it, this has been a brazen attack.
Yes.
The way people were told to stand in separate lines and people were shot there. So we must respond. Now, what is the response is your question. Putting the Indus Water Treaty on hold is one. But the effects of that economically will take time to come onto Pakistan.
Yes.
So we will of course punish them economically. But there must be appropriate and strong response, like after Pulwama we had Balakot airstrikes, that make sure that Pakistan maintains peace. So after Balakot for about 5 years there's been peace. 2019, now we are in 2025.
Yes.
So about 5-6 years there's been peace. We have to make that appropriate. There is one thing that I find intellectuals bring up a lot. That what happens because Pakistan is a nuclear country. And it is. I'm not denying it's not a nuclear country. And unlike India, Pakistan does not have a no first use of nuclear weapons policy. India does have a India's nuclear arsenal is a deterrence. It's not it's a no first use.
Yes.
But with Balakot, we called out their bluff. And as a nation, it is now time to not accept being bullied by another country. We are not going to be bullied. You cannot enter our territory and kill our people, select our people, identify on the basis of religion and shoot them dead. That's not going to happen. If that happens, you'll have to pay a price. We want to mind our own business as a nation. We want to grow economically. Our game is to be the second or the third largest economy in the world. We want to get our people out of poverty. But if you're going to come in, and we don't want to deal with Pakistan, but if you're going to come in and kill our people, then we'll have to respond appropriately.
Yeah.
And I think that is what the government will have to do. As somebody who's in opposition, I stand by my government at this time.
Yes.
They have to make an appropriate response. One that shows the international community in Pakistan that this is unacceptable.
Yes. But national security as a topic, do you feel in these 2-3 days when everyone's debating on Twitter or X, do you feel the topic is being politicized a little too much? National security?
That's what democracies do. That's fine. We can have debates. We are a democracy. We are not a Pakistan. So
Yes.
democracy is good. Why should we not have debates? We must have debates. You see, we've tried every approach with Pakistan. When they attacked our parliament, 13 December,
Yes.
Vajpayee ji was Prime Minister. We had the biggest build-up of the Indian army on the India-Pak border after 71, the biggest. Then we had 26/11, we tried international pressure and diplomacy. Then we had Pathankot and we did Uri and the surgical strikes. Then we had Pulwama and we did Balakot. So we've tried different approaches. We've had an army built up.
Yes.
We've had talks. We've had isolating them globally. We've had surgical strikes and we've had the airstrikes. They don't seem to understand. So now we'll have to take the next response. That response, different governments takes as per the requirement. But the will of the people is to respond now, and we have to respond. What the response is, how appropriate, to what extent, I think that is a good debate to have in the nation. That's not a bad debate to have. Once again, we are a democracy,
Yes.
and we will debate. There is nothing wrong in debating. I don't find anybody debating or questioning wrong. It's the opposition's job to question. But as opposition, I'm with my government. Whatever my government decides, I am with them.
Yes. But your tweet has also gone viral right now.
Two
Kafir.
tweets.
One was
one
a
Kafir
teen.
one and yesterday's one where I called out the Islamist terrorists.
But why are you emphasizing on the word kafir? Because people actually use it very casually nowadays.
That's
In
true.
fact, movies, their name is kafir. There are a few movies like that.
As somebody who comes from the minorities, I'm only saying don't use this word in public discourse to create hate. Representing it in a movie or something is fine. Or I am talking about hate in a public discourse or public speech. If you make a public discourse or a public speech, let me say, using another term, saying all blacks are bad.
Yes.
It's hate speech. It's
It
racial.
is.
Right? I don't mean to call anyone black. Let me just clarify, but I'm just saying that. So that's not allowed. Similarly, I'm saying some word taken out of context and used to create divide in society is not acceptable. What the Pakistani army chief did was create a divide amongst human beings on the basis of religion. And that divide was used by these terrorists in Pahalgam to kill Hindu men.
Yes.
They were selected because they were not Muslims. Now, the basis of that is that in public discourse, the word kafir is used to create hate. That should not be allowed. I am not asking you not to read something or not to watch a movie. I am for free speech. I'm an free speech absolutist.
Yes.
But a free speech absolutist does not mean hate speech.
There should be some regulation.
Hate speech. So, for example, you cannot come on the road and chant Sar Tan Se Juda.
Of course. Yes.
You cannot come on the road and say देश के गद्दारों को गोली मारो सालों को. अगर कोई गद्दार है, कानून उसको सजा देगा. Mob doesn't have a right to shoot them dead. Similarly, a word used out of context to create hate in a public discourse and public speeches should not be allowed. I'm very clear on that.
And it actually makes a lot of sense also.
I always make sense.
That's
why I am the face of the opposition.
Yes. But talking about the opposition, you've always emphasized that the Congress must focus on topics like inflation, economy, unemployment. What are some communication strategies you feel that the party must adopt to continue to talk about these things and connect with the public?
For me, when I visualize the grand old party of Indian politics, it should not merely be criticizing the government. That is important because we are against the government politically. But what are our solutions for the new generation, for people like you? How can we suggest that today, an Aaj Ka Bharat, we do something different, therefore making Kal Ka Bharat better? One, we understand that the government is in power or is running the show and they are making certain errors and we are criticizing them. So that is that. Or we are against certain policies of the government.
Yes.
But then what is our alternative theory? That is also important.
Yes.
What is the roadmap we are giving to the people of the country? Both for today and for the future. I think that is the discourse that needs to come in from the opposition. We must be solution driven. It's very easy to only criticize. It's very easy to do that. Because इतना बड़ा मुल्क है, 150 करोड़ की आबादी है, हर किसी को कोई ना कोई गलती तो मिलेगी, तो बहुत आसान है, पर उसका समाधान क्या है, वो जरूरी है. We have to focus on that.
But do you think that the opposition somewhere, of course, they question, they criticize, but they're not giving ideas? There should be a idea. It's a big party. It's been there for so much time. You have some great minds in Congress. Do you feel that somewhere?
Yeah, I think overall the opposition, including the Congress party, it's because the opposition is led by the Congress. It is naturally the biggest party in the opposition. Must have a vision document for India.
That's a very good idea.
We must have a vision document of how in 2025 we will do something different, 2026, 2027, thereby having a vision for India in 2030, 2040, 2050, 2060, 2070, 2080, 2090. So we must have a vision for India. That vision must be articulated and kept before we the people. And then let people choose between the two visions. There's a BJP-led government, NDA, which has a vision. And then there's a Congress-led opposition that has a vision. Let the people of India decide. And let the debate in India be on vision, on policy, not on individuals. We are not here to target individuals. Mr. Modi, Prime Minister Modi is not my enemy. Similarly, Rahul Gandhi ji should not be the BJP's enemy. It should not be individually driven. It should be policy driven. Prime Ministers are there. Leaders of opposition are there. Everyone will come and go. India will last forever. India must be what should drive the agenda. Bharat should drive the agenda.
Yes, and I think what you're saying, this is something that I hope should happen because kids like me, my age, we connect more to things like policy or what's actually happening other than things like religion. Emergency is something we've not seen. Or what happened, Ram Mandir, Rath Yatra, those are things we've not seen, we've just read, and that also 2 lines in our textbook. So policies is something that really should be debated, and that's how we should choose.
And our policies should be geared towards the future. We must have 2 hours of studies compulsory for AI. Are we doing it?
There is a subject of AI though.
But that is subject. In school, 2 hours of AI should be taught compulsory. See, the new generation, even the kids that are born today, are not going to be dependent on Google and Web 2.0. They're all going to be on Web 3.0.
Yes.
We must train them today. They won't need mobiles. Their watches will have the device.
Yes.
Why aren't we training? Are we doing that? 2 hours in a week or 3 hours in a week of AI training compulsory for kids from first grade onwards. That's what we should be discussing policy. We are not discussing. So we have to work towards the future of Bharat. Remember, what is time? Time is like a river. Imagine a river. I want you viewers to imagine a river. And the future is flowing towards us at a rapid pace. We are here and the future is coming. So when you know the future is coming, we have to prepare that future is coming. So today we have to prepare for that future that's going to come, that water, the future water that's flowing towards us. We need to do that. That is what we need to do.
And I hope these ideas that you're giving should be in the vision that hopefully next election we vote on policies and vision. And
we will need somebody to make these changes in the country, in the nation, and lead this discourse forward. And I think that there is a growing demand amongst the new voters, the Gen Z and everybody to now shift our politics dramatically. And it will shift. Make no mistake, these systems that are there are going to be smashed and broken. They're going to be smashed and broken. That old way of doing politics is going to change. There are people who want now, genuine people who care about the country and can talk policy and future. Bahut ho gaya. We've gone into the past. I'm not saying that we must not remember the past. I am saying we can't, we must remember the past, but that should be an inspiration to sort out our future.
of course. And talking about internal challenges, there have been many elections that I think we all know of that Congress has not been able to, get those votes because of internal challenges. And in fact, in the party, there are some great voices. In fact, you've also spoken about Sachin Pilot being a very dynamic leader.
Yeah.
But somewhere, do you feel that these leaders' voices may be not given the right attention because of those internal challenges, and we look at other people who are taking, pictures with actresses, taking pictures with people who support the Taliban or things like that?
No, so I think there are two separate issues. People like Sachin Pilot ji are very, very talented, right? They're supremely talented. And also the Congress, I've always said this publicly and I'll say this again, should reflect. They lost somebody like a Jyotiraditya Scindia,
Yeah.
Himanta Biswa Sharma ji. They've lost people like these. Tehseen Poonawala, the best spokesperson of the BJP today after Sudhanshu Trivedi ji. He and Sudhanshu ji are the best spokespersons, they've lost them. So I think the Congress should reflect, how can you lose this talent? It should reflect on that. And then the talent that's there, they should keep them. So I think that is important for those people who are talented, based on merit, come ahead in any system. What I'm very worried about is not the BJP or the Congress, because while there is dynasty and nepotism in both BJP and Congress, BJP is also terribly nepotistic now. Terribly. It's just not at the level of the central board, but otherwise everybody in the BJP is also nepotistic. Both the BJP and the Congress, at least in their parties, there is an organization or the board. In the Congress, it's called the CWC, and in the BJP, it's called the Parliamentary Working Committee, where there is some decision taking, and you have to at least have a board to approve it. But when you look at all the other regional parties across the length and breadth of India, from Jammu and Kashmir to Tamil Nadu, from the northeast to the west of India, any state you pick up, all regional parties are family businesses. Any. Pick up Kashmir, Mehbooba Mufti's party. Pick up Haryana, Chautala's party. Pick up Maharashtra, the Shiv Sena NCP. Pick up Karnataka, Devegowda ji's party. Pick up Tamil Nadu, DMK. They are all family run. Pick up the northeast, Sangma's party.
Yeah.
They are all family run businesses. All. Period. Across the length and breadth of the country. Pick up Telangana, KCR's party. Pick up Andhra Pradesh, Jagan's party. Pick up Bihar, Tejasvi Yadav ji's party.
Unfortunately, this has become the basic nature of politics.
How do we accept it? Where does somebody like you, who's obviously talented, young, who understands politics, a young girl, make a mark if your parents are not in politics? Why are incompetent people there? We have to think about this. You have to reflect on this. As a nation, are we really a democracy then? If these family-run businesses are running the show, and therefore that space of opposition is critical for somebody like me to shake up. I have to shake it up, because if I have to get rid of the BJP because I disagree with them on policy, what is the viable alternative? Therefore, that role of mine becomes critical in the awareness that I spread on highlighting these drawbacks and flaws. Because what is the merit of these people being there, except for being kids who have won?
Yes.
So I think it's important that we reflect as a society, because when younger generation takes over, they must not have this lack of opportunity.
Of course.
And this is reflecting everywhere. You see, our society is becoming, now you see Mumbai. You have all these paps. I have no problem. They take pictures also of kids. Now, I don't have a problem taking some star kids pictures. But how many of these paps take the picture of, say, a chess winner, or somebody who's working in ISRO, or badminton champion, or a table tennis champion? Some kid whose father or mother or some actor you're taking, because they are their kids, you're taking and those pictures. This is not how it should be. Even in the paparazzi business, there's nepotism. That's not right for a nation. So I am making a very valid point. People should go ahead, youngsters should go ahead based on merit. It should not matter who you're born to. What should matter is how talented and meritorious you are.
Yes.
If you are born in a rich family, there's nothing wrong in it. Don't get me wrong. If you have opportunities, there's nothing wrong in it. But your starting point should be equal, and your end goal should be based on merit. That's all I'm saying. If in that course you have money or talent or some other opportunities, you can use that. There's nothing wrong in it. I'm again not finding that wrong. But I'm saying don't make that the only basis. So therefore the starting line should be equal for all. And the end game should be merit.
I hope this changes one day for everyone to get equal opportunities. But Jammu is my next question. Jammu used to be a stronghold for Congress. And in fact, I remember watching few interviews of different political analysts as well as even the current CM Omar Abdullah about how Congress should start making an impact in Jammu politics.
Yeah.
Why have they not been able to reclaim that region after so long again?
That is what's happening with the Congress party organizationally, and not just Jammu, across the nation. But Omar is right when he spoke about Jammu, especially the dissatisfaction in Jammu with the BJP. Ladakh Congress went.
Yes.
So in Jammu there's dissatisfaction. Now that Jammu and Kashmir and Ladakh, the two union territories, have been separated, Jammu also there's a lot of dissatisfaction with the BJP. So Congress should have done better. But you see, there was dissatisfaction with the BJP in Madhya Pradesh also.
But then the opposition has to hold on to those ye problem ho raha hai and bolo fir.
So again it comes down to you are repeating the problem and people know what the problem is. So for example, if I'm a resident of Jammu, or I'm a resident of Madhya Pradesh, or I'm a resident of anywhere in Bharat, you're telling me, and you're the opposition, you're telling me what the problem is. And I agree with you.
Yes.
Because I am feeling that problem. But when you don't tell me the solution, then I can't develop trust on you that, okay, this problem you will solve. Because while I accept the problem, I still feel that guy is at least with this problem better, because you will make my problem worse.
Do you think this is why people don't vote for Congress?
Many reasons. One of the reasons is lack of solutions. Other reasons is lack of strategy in fighting elections. Third reason is being lack of organizational strength on the ground. Fourth reason is being too left and too woke. A lot of reasons. There can't be one reason why you win or lose an election. Elections are very complex.
Yes.
It's not one reason. You can't attribute it to one reason. But several of those reasons that are there, you have not started working on them. For example, if you look at Haryana and you look at the demographics of those who voted for the Congress in the 2024 Lok Sabha elections. Who essentially voted for the Congress were our Muslim fellow citizens and our SC fellow citizens. They voted for the Congress in large numbers, largely due to Shri Rahul Gandhi ji's Bharat Jodo Yatra. Yet our SC fellow citizens did not vote for the Congress in the state elections, Haryana state elections. Has the Congress reflected upon that? Now, if you just look at Haryana as an example, 2024 Lok Sabha elections, the Congress did very well in Haryana. They split the Lok Sabha seat 6-4 out of 10. They were widely expected to win the assembly elections. In fact, they were widely expected to sweep the assembly elections. They got a trouncing. And since then, in the local elections, in the 10 cities, Lok Sabha constituencies, they formed 0 mayors. So from expected to sweep Haryana to getting 0 mayors, the fall of the Congress has been rapid. In the state that it did very well a few months ago, we are in April now, less than a year ago, the Congress did brilliantly in Haryana.
Yes.
And now it's fallen this low. It got 0. What has eroded that support base of the Congress? It's not one factor. It's not just our Dalit fellow citizens going away from them. That is one part. There have been other reasons why that's happened. Again, lack of strategy, lack of ticket distribution, all of this. So these are things that the Congress also should internally reflect onto why it's causing this harm to itself. It can't be one answer. It's never one answer. It's not one straight jacket size that fits all. There are different reasons why you lose an election, but they're not working on at least some of those that are obvious. Then of course the local factors come into play. Those then you can work on locally during the elections, and that requires organizational strength.
So Maharashtra, I think few months before the state assembly elections, if someone would say that Mahayuti is winning, people would laugh.
Yeah.
You would think that there would be someone like Supriya Sule or Nana Patole, the CM. But that's not what happened. You also had a great friend of yours, Sanjay Raut, who had a mic everywhere but did not connect with anyone. So what do you think? Was it a mood swing or some kind of a strategy fatigueness? Or?
Strategy fatigueness for sure. Miscalculation. People like Sanjay Raut ji, the kind of rubbish they spoke. And look, I'll tell you what, Sanjay Raut ji, I'll just divert a bit here. The minute I said Sanjay Raut ji, you smiled. Everybody laughs. The guy is a clown. And the problem with being a clown is that people don't take you seriously and there's no gravitas. And I think Uddhav ji and Aditya Thackeray ji should think about this. But coming back to Maharashtra, a lot of factors. There was polarization that was done on both sides. All of this contributed in the defeat of the MVA and the victory of the Mahayuti. Obviously, the thing is that Devendra Fadnavis ji is very, very popular. He's been a good chief minister. There is sympathy and empathy for him. There was, and he was, and he's led Maharashtra well. Obviously, there was a lot of sympathy for the fact that MVA, the way the government fell down, and Mahayuti came in. So MVA also
and for Sharad Pawar also, he's been there since a long time. There's a lot of sympathy for him, especially in the Baramati area.
Western Maharashtra, yes. And also how his nephew Ajit Pawar ji went against him and split the party. So Pawar Saab had that sort of sympathy for them. But end of the day, it wasn't a coherent strategy versus what the Mahayuti did. Of course, it helped the Mahayuti the way the elections were delayed. They could get in the Ladki Behna last minute and retrospectively. There were things that they did. But look, this is politics. It's not going to be fair. If you can't take the heat, get out of the kitchen. So they did what it takes to win. What was the MVA doing? What was the strategy? What was the message? Again, I come back to that the MVA was giving to the people of Maharashtra. Now, the 2024 Lok Sabha elections, where again in Maharashtra the Congress-led MVA did very, very well. Okay?
Yes.
The message of the Congress was clear that we have to save the constitution, we will have a caste census, and again, SC, STs, minorities, they're united behind the Congress. But that was not the case in Maharashtra because those were not the issues at hand, but those were the same messages being given. Whereas Maharashtra is a progressive industrialized state, so we had to talk about jobs. There was the soya farmers' distress.
Yes.
Nobody spoke about it. There was the cotton farmers' distress.
Water problem.
The Prime Minister, and that also affected the cotton farmers, again, that. So the Prime Minister came in and he announced that he will, the cotton farmers, their crops will be bought for a certain amount. But there was no counter to that by the MBA because the cotton farmers and the soya farmers, that distress was on the ground. There was a massive water problem. So all of these issues and solutions were not discussed. What happened, what became the discourse was, yes, the BJP polarized. Yes, they polarized. But there was polarization from the MBA side also. For example, that actor that you mentioned, she used to make her husband went to a Maulana who was a Taliban endorsing Maulana. There was another MBA MLA from the Samajwadi Party, whose daughter-in-law herself is an actor, who was talking about, who was meeting Maulanas who wanted to do Ghazwa-e Hind. So I think all of these polarization, counter-polarization worked in favor of the BJP. You see, polarization by itself or the BJP cannot win an election if there's no counter-polarization. When you do counter-polarization, the BJP has an advantage. So these are issues that the MBA completely missed out on. And of course, the man that he was smiling about, Sanjay Raut, every day before the election was over, he wanted to make his chief minister. People don't appreciate that. So what happened was a tragedy to Maharashtra. Maharashtra deserved better. But unfortunately, the MBA lost the elections. See, winning and losing elections are part of the game. Okay, you'll win some, you'll lose some. I fight, right? I'm an MMA fighter. So there'll be matches you'll win, there'll be matches you lose, and that's fine.
Yes.
What is important is how good a fight you give. To be decimated the way MBA was, in a state where, again, a few months before the Maharashtra elections, they did so well in the Lok Sabha elections. A year ago, Maharashtra and Haryana was swept by the India Alliance, the MBA and the India Alliance. Maharashtra MBA, overall the India Alliance. A year later, they're decimated in these two states. I think it reflects a lot. I think they have to look within and reflect.
Okay. So, course correction.
See, but who will do the course correction? The people who are distributing the tickets, who are running the election strategy, are themselves sitting on seeing what is wrong. So they will never punish themselves.
Yes. So accountability also, you feel?
Those who are responsible are only being asked to fix accountability. How will it work?
Yes. If you were the leader of opposition, okay, of course we have a great leader of opposition, but if you were the leader of opposition, what are some steps that you would take from today, supposing you were made today, to ensure that there is a strong opposition?
If I become the leader of opposition today, the first thing I would go and do is meet the Prime Minister and say, while you're my political opponent, there are certain legislations where we should work together as both government and opposition to make India better. Second thing, I would work with the Prime Minister on reducing the tax terrorism in the country and the GST extortion going on. Because of this tax terrorism and GST extortion, people are leaving our country and going in large numbers. The third thing I would work on, again, so I would have an adversarial policy reaction to the government and the Prime Minister, but I would work with the Prime Minister on making India a better place to do business and encouraging youngsters to grow. The third thing that I would do completely different from the government is I would make sure free speech thrives. I would make sure they don't go after podcasters, after comedians. I would make sure that the opposition protects artists. These are the things I would work for. Youngsters. And I would come up, if I'm today opposition leader, I would do a press conference on my Web 3.0 policy to do with quantum computing, AI immediately, and how I will create immediately in India, 1 crore new jobs, high paying 1 crore new jobs immediately with the help of quantum computing and AI. 1 crore new jobs.
In fact, this is something that you've emphasized on a lot of interviews and
immediately tweets. With AI, you can create 1 crore new jobs right away. Right away 1 crore new jobs. You don't have to wait. Within the next 15-20 days.
Yes.
You can create 1 crore new jobs and high paying jobs. You will get 1 crore people into the middle class income bracket. And your economy will boom. And I'm saying 1 crore minimum. वो ज़्यादा भी हो सकता है. 1, 1.5, 2 crore हो सकते हैं. I will export our services to the world.
Yes.
Web 3.0, thriving economy. A booming economy. That's what I would create. Right away.
Imagining this only makes me really happy, and I
Yeah.
hope that this is someday used. But you had spoken about NJAC earlier. Do you
Yeah.
think striking it down, it was a step back in terms of transparency or important for judicial independence?
No. You can't have only the government appoint judges, because the government is a major litigant and a major litigant in the court. So they can't be appointing their own judges. So the judges must be involved in that process. But the collegium can't be the only answer. So my answer is two-step verification. Number one, let there be the collegium.
Yes.
But the meetings of the collegium should be transparent, open to RTI. The meetings should be live streamed, and people should have access to the meeting. Why certain judges are chosen by the collegium. The judges chosen by the collegium then go to a parliamentary committee,
Okay.
headed by the leader of opposition, because the government is a major litigant, in which the parliamentary committee screens these judges based on their past judgments and their point of view with upholding the Constitution of India. Basically upholding life, liberty, free speech and justice.
Okay.
Once that's done, the parliamentary committee can then come down to those names and approve it and send it back to the judges or to the President of India, however may be the case, to approve those judges. And those judges can get elevated to the Supreme Court or these High Court judges.
So more transparency.
Absolutely. Even the parliamentary committee that screens the judges that have been selected by the collegium, that meeting should be live streamed, transparent and led by a leader of opposition.
Okay.
Thereby putting transparency of judges in public domain. Period. So let it be a two-step verification. I am not saying collegium should go. I'm not saying it should be only government appointee. But I am saying government and opposition must have a role in appointing judges. You see, it's very scary because both of them are stepping on each other's domain, the judiciary and the legislator. Now that must be stopped, but that can only be stopped through legislation that is just, fair and not violative of the basic structure of the Constitution of India.
Okay. But are there any cracks in any system of the country, maybe bureaucracy, judicial system, that you feel that if those and the government and the opposition focuses on those things and the country can move in 5x speed?
Reduce the laws. No law should be more than one-page law.
Okay.
Law should be 3 paragraphs maximum, but maximum 1 page. If you have to explain a law, the law can be used for misuse, can be misused. Keep law simple. 80% of your problem will be solved. Second, get retired judges back on board, make a constitutional amendment on the lower court, and have mobile courts. So instead of people coming to court, take the courts to the people. And then what you do in that is 60-70% of your disputes are family disputes, property disputes. You take it to the people, like the mobile courts there, usko wahin par solve kar do.
Okay.
The judiciary that's choked up will get free. Once your laws are reduced and judiciary is free, India will prosper.
So you feel simplifying laws so that there is more
First
time for...
Laws should be simple. If you have to explain a law, it will be misused. Easy in, easy out.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's a very good point. Now let me come to the more fun part. I'll give you some, it can be names of leaders or maybe a particular bill that was passed in the parliament, and you have to describe it in one word.
Okay.
First, your favorite, Rahul Gandhi ji.
LOP, hardworking LOP.
Okay.
2 words, but hardworking.
That's fine.
Yeah.
Your best friend, Sanjay Raut.
clown?
Do you trust a snake more or
Snake. Sanjay Raut. Snake.
2024 Lok Sabha elections?
Shows democracy is alive.
Okay. India's opposition today.
Needs to be more creative.
Uddhav Thackeray versus Eknath Shinde, describe their rivalry in one word.
I'll describe both of them. Eknath Shinde is a man of the soil. He's risen from being a rickshaw driver to the chief minister of Maharashtra. So Eknath Shinde ji, man of the soil. Uddhav ji, soft, kind man. So I'll describe both of them in one word.
Okay. Kangana Ranaut's political entry.
Her political entry or her political opinions?
Entry.
Her political entry was as spectacular as Tannu Weds Manu. Is that the movie?
Yeah.
Her
Yeah.
political opinions are as disastrous as some of her recent films.
Okay.
They've all bombed, right? Some of her recent films.
Yeah.
They have, right?
But it's also because of how much it was debated somewhere. Emergency, a lot of.
I don't
cuts.
know which are her recent films, but I know that most of them have bombed.
Queen was the best. So.
Okay, so let's redo this. Her political victory is as big a blockbuster as Queen was.
Yes.
Her political opinions are as disastrous as her recent flop films are.
Okay. Parliament ruckus scenes.
I mean, it's fine, but we must allow for more debate in Parliament. Also, the Speaker should be slightly more neutral,
Okay.
not lean towards the government so much.
Tejasvi Yadav.
Emerging face in Bihar.
You feel?
I think so.
This
Don't ask me
all-
about Tej Pratap Yadav.
No, I won't.
Because Sanjay Raut ji, Tej Pratap Yadav ji, they're all the gems of Indian politics.
Okay, let me ask you, Prashant Kishore.
Strategist. For now, strategist. Let's see how his political party works out, but strategist. Definitely strategist.
Now, this is the last one, but of course, more fun, I feel. They saw that.
Okay.
Debate on TV or war on X?
Debate on TV. I don't fight on X. I just give my opinion. I don't fight anymore. Because a very wise person, she told me, and I'm not lying. Okay, she told me this. She said, आप जवाब देते हो, आपको लाइफ में क्या बनना है? I said कि यार, I will eventually lead the opposition and the nation I want to. So she said, क्या मोदी जी को टाइम है डिबेट करना ट्विटर पे? I said नहीं. क्या अमित शाह जी को टाइम है? I said नहीं. राहुल जी को टाइम है? I said नहीं. फिर आप क्यों कर रहे हो? So no more debates on X.
Okay, so only TV.
TV ठीक है.
Okay, non-political. Diljit Dosanjh or Coldplay?
Diljit.
The Illuminati.
I don't know about this whole Illuminati thing. I'm not
No, the Illuminati, his thing is called.
Yeah.
Gen Z thing.
The Gen Z, the Illuminati, yeah. But he keeps doing those signs though.
Yeah.
But I don't know much about that. The Illuminati.
No, I'm talking about the songs.
Yeah, the song of course, but I'm talking about the signs and all.
I was just
keep-
saying that Diljit Dosanjh songs or Coldplay. Do you go for Coldplay?
No, Diljit.
Okay. Lok Sabha drama or Rajya Sabha sass?
Lok Sabha. I'm a Lok Sabha material. So Lok Sabha.
Work for Amendment Bill or Women's Reservation Bill? More important.
Both were important, but women's reservation bill was like a jumla. It's not happening.
No, but if you were the Prime Minister, would you want
Women's reservation right away, not wait till 2029 or 34 or whenever that is. Whenever they 34 days it will come into play. 29, 34, whenever. Aaj do na? Or 5 years, 10 years. Well, nothing.
Maharashtra melodrama or the incoming Bihar banter?
Maharashtra is over, so Bihar is incoming.
But which one, like Maharashtra is done? Did you enjoy it, or do you think that the Bihar one is going to be more fun, like the Bhojpuri movies?
I think I think Maharashtra had a lot of melodrama, but I think the Bihar elections and the Bihari atmosphere that will be created around the elections will be a blockbuster. So Bihari blockbuster now. We enjoyed the Maharashtra melodrama, not the Bihari blockbuster.
Okay. Rahul Gandhi ji's Yatra or Modi ji's Man Ki Baat?
Yatra, Rahul Gandhi ji, sir. Without doubt. I've never seen a single episode of Man Ki Baat. I mean it. Not a single.
When watching, which one do you prefer? Panel debates or parliament speeches?
Parliament speeches, without doubt. But good speeches, with gravitas. I love good speeches, especially old parliamentarians. I love watching speeches, without doubt.
But you feel that the old parliament speeches, they had more like jazba, more like something
More
I want to do.
gravitas, more substance. Ab wo hota nahi hai. Though some of the speeches now are good, but it's not at the same level. When I visualize myself and I stand in front of the mirror and I talk, I see like how Nehru ji used to speak in parliament or other parliament, Vajpayee ji, etc. That.
Somewhere, don't you feel that earlier it was people would add few jokes here or there? Now it's just so serious.
Lalu ji. So it's fun, even now. Yeah, in fact, the other day, there was a very good banter. Your team will get that thing where Akhilesh ji told Amit Shah ji ki you are the world's biggest political party, but you still haven't chosen your president.
Yes,
And Amit Shah ji said, "Arey humko to sabhe lagega, aapko to panch parivar ko." So that banter in parliament is always good. You joke on each other.
But it's also needed.
You should. Politics should not be personal. Crack jokes on each other, have fun. So Lalu ji used to do that. Mulayam ji used to do that. It used to be good banter. I remember this one speech of Pramod Mahajan ji, the late Pramod Mahajan ji. It went very viral, where he said, "Look, I'm going to play that speech. It's very, very famous." He said that he had gone to China, and somebody in China. It's a very famous speech.
Yes, I've heard that. Yeah.
Somebody in China asked him that how does democracy work in India? Because China doesn't have democracy. So there was an independent MP out there. He was only one person. So he says, okay. He says, look, Pramod Mahajan, he says, I am the single largest party in the country, but I am in opposition. So that guy said, oh, you're the single largest party, but you're opposition. He says, yeah. He said, there's the second single largest party in the country. They are a part of the coalition that's in government, but they are not in government. Okay. Then he said, third. He said, that is the third party. They are in the government, but outside the government. Okay. Fourth, he's an independent MP and he's the government. Okay. So that was a very viral speech that happened.
Yes. But I really hope that these things...
So you must have these jokes in parliament, and that's how it should be,
Yes.
And it should be funny. It should be fun. But also, that also requires a speaker with a big heart. Also, now what's happened in parliament is also, unfortunately, with the way the speakers also conduct. Both the Honorable Speaker in Lok Sabha and the Chairperson Rajya Sabha, Vice President of India is not. Opposition doesn't get a level playing field. It should be level.
But now I'm better than earlier. They have
Because
more
they have
numbers.
more numbers, that's why.
This one is my favorite. I really want to know this one. Jumla politics or dynasty politics? Which one do you prefer? No, you have to choose one.
Neither. I choose neither. यार किसी को जुमला क्यों देना है? और ना ही you should have dynasty. You should have merit-based, honest politics. Be honest with the people of India. I don't know, Jumla also no and dynasty also no. Neither. I choose neither.
Okay.
Why should I choose one over the other? So if I choose dynasty, that means I'm rejecting Jumla, which is true, but I'm choosing dynasty. And if I choose Jumla, that means I'm rejecting...
No, can be which one you prefer. You feel that it should be theek hai because like it happens. It happens everywhere.
Neither should happen. Why should you have Jumla or dynasty? No Jumlas, no dynasty.
Okay. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
I'm so happy that we had this conversation, and I'm sure that the youth and Gen Z, everyone, they have more clarity in their mind as to where Congress is. When in debates, even like kids, children, youngsters, there's one like who's BJP, one Congress. So now they know that, acha, this is what Congress is lacking, and I hope they really work on it. And thank you so much.
Thank you for having me. Thank you to your team. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much.